Hello, welcome to Provoking Safety. My name's Kevin Barrett and this is my channel. I'm a health and safety professional and it's always been my desire to make health and safety easier, simpler, all around more practicable. That's a fancy word for doable. So this is the slogan of this channel. We want to think safety, talk safety, do safety, and provoke it at home and in the workplace. So thank you for joining me today. If you're new and safety is your thing and you have a passion for it or want to learn more about it, why don't you click that subscribe button? Ding the bell and you'll get notified of new content. And please do me a favor, if you like the content of the video, click that like button and let me know. I also enjoy comments, so feel free to leave a comment or two below. Now, here's the question I gotta ask. Have you got the call and been summoned to an incident scene, and did it kind of look like this? Hello, Kevin here. Oh, really? Okay, right away. Be there in just a sec. Has something happened like that or similar to you? Did you get to the incident scene and realize, oh, I don't have a pen, I don't have a paper, I don't have half the stuff I need? There's a better approach. Stick with me and I'll go over it and I'll help you to understand that you can take a bit of time and clarify the situation before you move to the incident scene. And you know what? It'll help you in the long run. So let's get into it. Now keep this in mind. If you take and spend 2 minutes, the first 2 minutes you spend on the phone call has the possibility of setting the tone for the rest of the investigation, whether it's going to be handled in a chaotic fashion or more organized. Ask some questions. There's no sense running off with an incomplete picture of what you can expect at the incident scene or what you're going to deal with. It's important. Ask a few questions. You can't undo what's happened. And unless you're part of the emergency response team, you won't be much use right away anyway, so don't go running off. Get the story. Find out what's occurred. I used to teach emergency first aid, occupational first aid, and even some semi-advanced courses like emergency medical responder. And all of these courses had the same principle when it came to attending to an injured casualty. You asked some questions or noted some things before you responded. The principles that you're going to use are very similar. So let's dig into it. First off, number one, when somebody calls, put your cookie down, put your coffee down, and note the time that they've called and who's calling. You know what? The dates and everything else will come afterwards. But when you note the time and the person that called, it helps you to establish a timeline going backwards and going forwards. So it's going to help you to reference things throughout the rest of the investigation. Trust me, it works. So the very first question you're going to ask is, what happened? Picture this. You're walking into work and you've got a cast on because, well, you were skateboarding with your kids that weekend and it didn't work out. Nobody goes, hey, how'd the weekend go? Or what's the weather like? They always ask that question, what happened? And it helps you, if you ask that question, to form a mental picture of what occurred. You know what? What you're told on the phone, you may find that it's totally different once you get to the incident scene, but it helps to prepare you. So find out briefly what happened. Take 30 seconds. Ask the person to slow down and tell you what happened. Take some notes. It provides you some additional information, such as, do you have to consider calling the OHS authorities into it if it's been a reportable incident? If you're unsure what I mean by a reportable incident, there's a video up in this corner. You can bookmark it and come back to it later, or watch it and come back to this one. Your choice. You won't necessarily understand what occurred, but it helps you to consider what you can expect when you get there. It'll also help you to understand what to bring with you besides your normal PPE and your investigation kit. If you're unsure what I mean by an investigation kit, I'll leave a link at the end of this video and you can watch it. There's also a list in the description of that video that you can use to make up your investigation kit. Next question you want to ask is, was anyone hurt? A lot of times you'll get told, hey, this incident happened or this accident happened, such as, oh, somebody hit so and so with the forklift. But you don't necessarily find out what occurred with the people until you ask the question. So it's important. Ask that question. Is anyone hurt, or how badly are people hurt? You can confirm also if there's an additional emergency response that needs to take place, such as summoning first aid, or has first aid been summoned? Does an ambulance need to be called? Has someone called the ambulance? You might even have to ask that caller to hang up, call the ambulance, and you'll join them at the incident scene, or to call you back while you're on your way to the incident scene. Keep in mind as well that when you ask if anyone's hurt, you might find out some very unfortunate news and there's been a fatality, but it also enables you to understand that you may have to call the law enforcement depending on your jurisdiction. Next question you want to ask is everything safe? Is it stable? Is everything that's caused the release of unwanted energy controlled? So if it's been a pipe burst, you might want to ask, has the water been shut off? If there's been an electrical accident, has the power been shut off? These are important questions. A lot of times what happens is you're called to the scene, but this uncontrolled energy is still allowed to flow and move. So you want to make sure that it's corrected and controlled or shut off. Other concerns, of course, is if there's been a hazardous materials release, such as natural gas. You want to make sure if the natural gas has been shut off or the area has been evacuated. You also want to concern yourself if the hazardous materials have been contained, if there's containment or spill response has taken place. You may need to add the fire department to the notification list and, of course, environmental authorities. Let's just take a second and have a look if that call is handled in a different approach and what it can look like. Oh. Hello, Kevin here. Okay, just hold on a second now. Just hang on. Okay, so tell me exactly, where was this? Okay, now what exactly happened? Just take a couple of minutes, just tell me what happened, and yeah, just let's talk about it here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, can you do me a favor? Tell me, was anyone hurt? Oh. Okay. Has first aid been summoned to the scene? Is he being attended to? Oh, it's looking like he's going to have to go to the hospital. Has an ambulance been called? Oh, someone's already called the ambulance. Okay, then do me a favor. Can you get one of the fellows in the loading dock to make sure their orange vest is on, their high-vis vest, and go out and wait and guide the ambulance in, and so that they can be escorted in and get as close as possible to the injury site, and then it won't be so far to move the casualty, okay? Okay, good, great. Now, nothing else. The forklift shut off and the brakes are applied, the wheels are chalked, the load's down, everything's safe. Like there's nobody else is going to get hurt. Okay, can you do me another favor? Can you cordon off the area and make sure that no stock is being moved and no deliveries? If they are, redirect them to a different area so that we can keep that accident scene secure? Okay, great, thank you. Just one final thing. There's nobody else has been hurt. Nobody else has been called, and you will wait for me there, and we can have a look at it. Okay. If anybody was present that saw it happen, can you ask them to stand by? I just want to be able to get their names so I can contact them later. Okay, great. I'll see you there in, roughly about 10 minutes. It's going to take me a bit to get everything together. So just handle everything, and I'll be there in about 10 minutes. Okay, great. Thank you. So do you see the difference with taking a couple of minutes and just asking a few questions, getting some clarification, how you can be better prepared for the scene and actually start the scene management before you get there? So don't run off. Take that 2 minutes. Ask the questions you need. It will set the tone. It won't necessarily change the outcome of the incident, but it certainly will help you carry the investigation through. Remember, an investigation that starts off chaotic is hard to get organized, but one that starts off organized can likely stay organized through to the end of the investigation. Just keep that in mind. Remember, those questions, this is sort of the TBDW. Too busy, didn't watch, but remember the important questions to ask. What happened and the qualifying questions. Find out if anybody's been hurt and if needed, has first aid been summoned or the ambulance been called. Make sure everything is safe and it gives you an idea of other emergency response that may have to be notified. Don't worry about asking the qualifying questions. Taking that little time in the forefront helps you to carry things through the rest of the investigation. Also, as another reminder, have your PPE ready and close by, your investigation kit stocked and ready to go. That way you won't be wasting time and your investigation will run so much more efficiently. So once again, thanks for watching. Please do me a favor. If you liked the video, click that like button. If you didn't, by all means, you can click that unlike button. But do me a favor, leave a comment below and let me know why. Once again, if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, click that subscribe button. Ding the bell, you'll get notified of new content. Actually, it's down there, but I put here because I put one there so you know. Until I see you next time, think safety, talk safety, do safety with the intention of provoking it at home and in the workplace. Thank you, take care, bye for now.